Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Kayan Lee. I am a best-selling author. I have published over 30 novels and novellas under 3 pen names, and I am really excited to share my experience and my advice to new authors and writers and anyone who wants to take it to the next level. So today I'd like to talk about how I got a literary agent. My publishing journey started in 2013, where I actually went to England. I went to Brighton, England, to World Fantasy Con to pitch the agent that I knew I had to have. It was Brandon Sanderson's agent, and he was there, and I met him, and it was so exciting. And I actually pitched him Rise of the Flame, and he was actually like, okay, sounds good, send it to me. And I was like, yes, awesome. So I went home, and I actually didn't send it right away because I was so nervous. This was when I only had the Chronicles of Koa out. And Rise of the Flame was like my baby. Like, I wrote it when I was like 11, and like it has grown with me over the years to where it was so special to me, and I was so nervous to share it with anyone that I actually held back a little bit. But then I finally got the courage and I sent it to him, and he didn't take long to respond. He actually wrote me back that my query was pretty good, but it wasn't what he was looking for. He didn't feel that my voice was strong enough. And you know what? I took that criticism, I took it well, because I was new and I hadn't published much, and I hadn't written more than Chronicles of Koa Book 1 and Rise of the Flame. So I had to simmer on what he meant, that the voice wasn't strong enough. And I went back and I looked at the manuscript, and I looked at the first chapter, and you usually send like the first 1 to 3 chapters, and my chapters, those chapters that I sent him, looking back, they weren't the kind of chapters that would be like gripping the reader right away and won't let go. I've learned since to start with my best foot forward, start with a hook that grips the reader and holds them and makes it where they don't want to stop reading. Like, that wasn't what I used to do. I used to over talk about descriptions and places, and you know, it took a while to get to the point. So I did learn from him, and I am grateful that I went to Brighton and I met him. I met Neil Gaiman. I met some friends that I'm still good friends with, a few people that live in England. Like, it was a very magical experience, and it definitely changed me. It definitely put me out there to where I, you know, started to trust myself and believe in myself. And after the rejection, it's, you know, everyone gets rejected. Like, Stephen King got rejected. Like, I went to a conference long ago, and they said it takes like 100 queries to get like one yes. And from then on, I started participating in the Twitter pitches, like Pit Mad and Pit Moss, and you know, where you basically put like a short teaser, short pitch on Twitter, and different agents can look at it, and they can, if they like the pitch, they can ask for more. And I actually did get a few bites for Freya, which is something I still haven't put out yet. It's a long story, but yeah, that's another story that's really deep and precious to my heart, and I have not let it go yet. But I did send it to a few agents, and again, the voice wasn't strong enough yet. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I went back and I was like, what can I do to make my voice stronger? And as I thought about that, I decided to, instead of starting like at a part that doesn't really have much excitement or action or tension, I started writing my books to where you drop the reader, bam, right in the middle of a scene that is full of tension from the start. And I think that has greatly helped my writing. But aside from that, aside from finding my voice from this wonderful critiques I've gotten from agents over the years, let's get to how I got my current agent right now. So, when I started off, I thought that you only found success with a traditional publishing house, and for that, you need an agent. So, I actually published the Chronicles of Koa while I was searching for an agent for Rise of the Flame, because I was basically just too impatient to hold on to it and not let anyone read it, because I was really proud of it. I started the Chronicles of Koa on my blog, posting a chapter a week, and people were like, okay, keep it coming, it's great. And I was like, okay, sweet. So I found out about self-publishing, and I was like, since I'm impatient, I'm going to go ahead and publish that, and I'm going to shop around for an agent for Rise of the Flame. So that's what I did. I published Chronicles of Koa, but once I got that first taste of publishing and, building a fan base, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep writing while I'm looking for an agent for Rise of the Flame. So I kept on writing. I did another book for the Chronicles of Koa series. I published that, and my fan base just started to grow. My Twitter started to garner an audience and a platform, and I actually learned from a few other authors once I discovered there's this magical indie author community out there with Facebook groups and, organizations like Author Social Media Support Group, and they were like, these days publishers want to know that you can hold your own out there with a fan base and social media presence. So I was like, sweet, I can do that. So I was building up my blog, I was building up my Facebook fan page, this was before I even knew about a mailing list, so I didn't even have a mailing list yet. So I was just working on social media. But what changed everything for me was continuing to publish, and then I actually stopped searching for an agent. And guess what happened? An agent contacted me just because they had seen Half-Blood Dragon do so well on the Amazon charts that they were like, hey, I read your book. How would you feel about being represented by me? And I was like, oh, sweet. An agent wrote me. And I'd had agents write me before, and I would look at their client list, and I've actually had publishers come directly to me, and I'd look and I'd be like, well, I don't know if that's a good fit. So I actually didn't just take anyone that wanted me, but when this one approached me, I looked at their list. I was like, oh, sweet. They have some really big authors on here, like some of the top indie authors that are, on the charts, alongside my books. I was like, okay, cool. They think that I'm worthy to stand amongst these other great authors that they have. And it's actually an agent for one of my dear friends. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna speak to this one and see what she says and what we can do together to work on, a common goal. Because at this point, I had been with a traditionally published company, and they actually shut their doors down after a few years, and I learned that I preferred being an indie author. I prefer the creative, I get to make my own decisions, keep more of the money, I get to you just get more freedom. And I really enjoyed that. So with this agent, I actually ended up thinking about it for a few weeks. I asked around for the other clients that she had on her list, and they were all like, she's great, sweet. And I was like, okay, well, I could use this agent to, I have some things saved that I do want to go traditional, but only for like a big publishing company, not a small press necessarily, but also for negotiating foreign rights and audiobook deals and stuff like that. So I signed with my first agent, and it all happened because I got rid of that stigma and that story that they tell you that you have to have an agent before you can get published, before you can find a publisher. I did it completely backwards, and it worked out so well for me, and I'm really happy that I did it that way because I actually got a really good agent, and I have her on my side when I get contacted for like TV stuff or like anime stuff. Like, I have her to look over the contracts and let me know if if things are to my best interest. And you do want someone like that on your side, especially for like the legal stuff and the negotiations. So yes, that's how I got my agent, and I hope that this story inspires you to follow the path that feels good to you. You do not have to wait years and years and years of your life to get published. You can start working on it. You could start working at your own pace. Go ahead and start writing a book, get it edited, get it read by friends, and get a fan base, publish it. And these days, agents are looking for clients. They're not just sitting in their office waiting for their emails to like send them the perfect magical author. They're actually actively looking. So put yourself out there. Put yourself in the path of success. Put yourself on the path of, a miracle or magic to happen. Like, I definitely believe that you have to be assertive in your process, and because that's what I did, and I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so thankful, and I hope that this helped you out. So comment below if you have any questions, if you have anything you'd like to add. I am happy to answer them. If I get enough questions, I will pull them aside and I will do like a Q&A one day, and I'll get your questions answered, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you on your journey. And thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button so that you get notifications, and share with your friends. If you have friends that are interested in being an author, finding an agent, publishing, all that good stuff, share. I would really appreciate it. You have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys with the next video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you. Have a great day.